Hello and welcome to Clay to Canopy, the show where I attempt to make just about everything from the ground up. Today is January 19th and I thought I'd do something a little bit different. I'm going to go through a day in my studio. I am in the middle of working on Woodland Feast. I probably am about about a third of the way through. When I work on projects that are of this size, oftentimes I have so many things going on all at once. And this is actually a really good point in the process to take a look at what's happening around here. There's nothing but a bunch of pieces right now. I have just pieces of things that don't look like they make any kind of sense, and I am hoping that within a month from now I will have it all pulled together and it will be close to the finish line and at least somewhat making sense at that point. So I'm going to walk you through what I have out, some of the things I've been struggling with, some of the things that I plan on tackling and working on for the rest of the day. I'll put away my tablet. Currently listening to audiobook as I work, as I do often. First up is the egg thing that has been giving me a massive headache. I am working on an egg sculpture that is a serving set, and right now I need to make a mold for the glass top. This is about 5th or 6th try. I have just ripped out paper part that I did a paper mache mold. I was trying with some foam. My next move after pulling out this paper mache part is to pump this through with some of this great stuff foam and hope that this approach works. My egg looks like a cracked egg, and so the ceramic base that this is sitting on is going to have a jagged edge. That's this bit. Then let's go take a look at what's going on behind me. Back here I have been dismantling the planter boxes for days, and I'm cleaning up the drive area. So I have pulled apart a ton of boxes. I still have a couple more to take care of today. I need to have them apart and sitting in this garage to dry out. I need to run them through the mill, through the planer, and I can't do that with them being wet. It'll gum up the knives and it's just no bueno. My peanut model is almost where I need it to be. That's what these boards are for. So I'm going to be building a stack laminated peanut throne in the shape of a peanut, inspired by my squirrel Charles out front that I feed. Whenever I see him, he comes out and dances in front of me asking for peanuts, and so I give him peanuts. But there are a couple modifications I need to make on this. The model is basically going to become my template. I feel like this back is too stiff, so I'm going to come in and want to cut out some of this and get a more comfortable fit, and I need to do it in the model so that way when it comes to gluing and stacking up my pieces, I have templates for reference. That is a task maybe end of day today, depending on how the other things go. It's not just taking apart the boxes that have become the issue. The boxes are filled with dirt, so I need to find somewhere in the landscape to put the dirt. I have been, updating my compost. We have 3 compost bins out there. Even that was not enough, so I've been like shuffling dirt around the yard, around the front landscape, just to try and get the excess dirt dispersed to where it could be used. So that has been taking up a great deal of time. Giant logs over in this corner. I have hauled home in my morning walks 8 Christmas trees and have been debarking. I shouldn't say debarking. I have been taking all of the branches off of them completely by hand with a handsaw and pruners because I wanted the bit of extra muscle workout. So I have 9 trees, including my own, that has gotten added to the stack. I've had to wait for the green bin to be available because trees take up a lot of space. It's been 3 weeks of me stuffing my trash can with trees, so I've had like random Christmas trees all set up in my drive that I have been slowly taking apart. The past like 2 or 3 weeks has literally just been pulling apart these blocks, trying to find somewhere to put the dirt, taking apart the Christmas trees, and then working that ridiculous foam mold thing that has just like been the bane of my existence lately. I did want to say that my Christmas tree is the tallest. And if you're wondering what the heck the Christmas trees are going to be for, they are going to be the table of this feast. I was thinking a lot about if Woodland Creatures had built a table, what would that table look like? And of course, the first thing that comes to mind is a live edge, giant slab of wood. That would be a table, and that would be wonderful if I built one of those. But aside from it being ridiculously expensive, I feel like it's also ridiculously overdone. That is not good enough for me here at Clay to Canopy. So what I am going to be doing is chopping up these bits of Christmas tree and turning it into a table that looks like a bunch of logs have come together to create this surface. It's gonna be great. I can see it in my head. The Christmas trees are going to be wet still, so I'm trying to give them, some time to do their thing. Pine is one of the woods that take the longest to dry out. So this table is never going to be dry, probably not for another 10 years of the thing being built. And then the other thing I have going on down here are the molds that I made the two-part molds for my centerpieces, and they, I think, are dry enough for me to start pouring. I promised my high school kids, I'm teaching 2 classes that are going to be doing 2-part casting, and what I promised them, whoever pours the successful mold and has the best casting after making their own mold will get a prize. One of the pieces that have come out of these molds, a finished piece, is I'm going to need a large volume of these pieces. When you were dealing with ceramics, you never know how things are going to go. Things can break very easily, and you just always need to make multiples. That is my plan for today. It's roughly 11:30. I have finished taking apart those last 2 boxes and have the wood drying here. There are still 2 more boxes out of my landscape that I'm debating grabbing because we're going to be moving the wine barrels that I have on the driveway over to that area, and they're just going to be just too tight. I'd like to just try and recycle as much of the wood that we have here that we're not going to be using as possible. Anyhow, on to sorting out those foam mold here. I'm going to mark out where the zigzag's going to go on the ceramic piece here. It is 12:15. After 45 minutes of futzing with this paper part, I've realized that it is still going to be too large for what I need. So no matter how many times I keep casting this in here, even if I pumped it with foam, it's still going to be too big for what I need. And I'm going to now do what I should have done from the jump, which is to carve this thing out of foam. Because I have some floral foam. I'm going to need to run out and buy some more because this is not enough. But I'm going to glue up all this floral foam into a block, and then I am going to carve the egg top. This is taking far too much time, far too many resources. Alright, so I'm going to spray up what I have and then make a run to grab some more foam. Continuing on with my day in the studio, it is almost 1 o'clock. I just came back from my run from grabbing more foam, and apparently the tacky stuff I sprayed on did not stick, so yeah, don't know what's up with that. Boy, it's a different foam. Foam's making me itch. Alright, now the foam's making me sneeze. Woo! That'll get me there. Alrighty, I'm gonna let that set up and I am gonna break for lunch. I need to get some food in me. I have to eat regularly, otherwise I get massive migraines, and once one starts, I'm like done for the day. A whole bunch of things beyond migraines happen. Well, it is almost 1 o'clock right now, so 12:56. I'm covered in foam. I think this might need some time to dry overnight. I'm gonna think about what my next move is for the day while I'm having lunch. It is just about 1:30. I am back from lunch. I have been working with a trainer since the beginning of November, trying to get healthy, eat better. Both my parents are diabetics. Many of my friends who hang out with me always know my whole blood sugar thing. We pack snacks before we go out because usually I tend to err on the side of caution and end up having really low blood sugar. Needless to say, I am working on Woodland Feast, and I have been going back and forth between whether or not this feast is going to include seafood. I am eating a pescatarian diet right now because I needed to increase my protein intake without increasing carbohydrates or fats. I'm trying to outrun diabetes and not have it claim my hand, as my hand is my bread and butter. This is the #1 reason why I have made the investment in working with this trainer slash nutritionist. I don't want to lose the use of my hand. It is how I make my living. The carbohydrates makes my hand inflamed, and it makes it incredibly painful and really difficult for me to do work. So I have gone back to the pescatarian diet where I am incorporating proteins that are whey proteins. This morning I had a pumpkin protein muffin where I'm using pea protein powder that I put into the batch and make a protein muffin with a protein shake. For lunch just now, I made a egg white omelet with egg beaters because I have this thing where I can't eat egg whites that are not yellow. I know it's totally like ridiculous, but I need them to look yellow. So they are the egg beater version of the egg white omelets where they put like turmeric in the batch to make them yellow with a little bit of reduced fat cheese and Morningstar Farm veggie hot dog. Tonight's meal is a completely vegan meal. It is my version of Mexican street tacos using an Abbott's Butcher chicken that I found at Whole Foods. I really love this chicken, and I usually make up a big batch that I can have for a couple nights. And then I made some seasoned black beans and cilantro lime rice. Now tonight is a workout night for me, so I can go a little bit heavier on my carbs. I tend to switch off to have a really high protein day, low carb day when I'm not working out. And then on my workout days, I allow myself a little bit more carbs. Anyhow, so that is my food part of the day. I need to put this egg thing away because it's seriously depressing me at this point. I'm just like so frustrated with looking at it and dealing with this. I'm gonna let this foam just do its thing and dry over in the corner before I come back to dealing with the carving. That is not gonna happen today. I'm gonna clean up all of this space and then get these molds up here and try and do a couple pourings. It is 1:45 and I got my area here cleaned off, and I'm about to jump into pouring up some molds for the next hour-ish, and then we'll see what happens. They need to be banded together. What I like to use are strap clamps, and I have a set that I bought at Harbor Freight, really cheap ones that I only use for pouring molds, and then I have a separate set that I use for woodworking purposes. You can also use really large rubber bands, and that's what I use with my high school class. Come on now. Apple number 2. Probably cut one of these sets down so I don't have to keep winding this strap, because I mean really I'm not going to be like using it for a 10-foot long mold. That would be ridiculous. Should do these things. Who knows if I'll ever get around to it. Should I use a pitcher? Pitcher would be nice if I had one. Got a picture in here? No. Pitcher. Got a pitcher. Alrighty. I'm gonna go rinse my pitcher. Oh, of course. Well, covered in clay. I think it's too chunky. Yeah, there's some chunks. Just gonna break it up with my hands. Probably have clay all over my face. I'm gonna make sure that there are no lumps. Usually I strain this. This one hasn't been used since the New England sun porch when I made the dishes. So any little bits, I probably should take the time and strain these, but I'm needing that, you know, instant gratification kind of day right now. So yeah, we're not gonna take the time to go straining this because we're just not. It's just the way it is. Pour until I see it come up. Whoop, there we go. I'm gonna set a timer for about 15 minutes, and then we're gonna check the wall thickness and see where we're at. Go wash my hand. Ooh, slip. Alright, it is 2 o'clock. I'm going to pull apart this, what is that? I'm going in for this bin. Gonna start distributing this dirt and killing this bin so that I can use the wood from this one. The sun's blaring in my eyes. I can't even tell if I'm on frame. The slip cast molds are setting up and I have a timer set. So while I'm waiting for that to happen, hello buddy man. I'm gonna pull apart this box and try and find somewhere to stick all this dirt out here in the garden. Probably should save this lettuce, make a salad. Lettuce, get my lettuce. Ooh. I'm gonna feed my compost with this bit. And this soil is actually fairly new, so I think Sarah has a plan for where the soil is gonna go. Must be nice. That's what you do all day. Rolling around in the dirt. Mama. It is 2:15. It is time to pour. This is where those mussels come in handy. Everywhere. 2:30. I'm going back out to finish cleaning up that box. Out here in the back garden, it got hot, took off the sweatshirt because I'm dumping the dirt from the extra bin into the middle run here, but I also have forgotten that I have this crazy killer tomato plant. Deep inside here are a bunch of ripe tomatoes, so I am going to harvest myself a mid-afternoon snack. You gotta see this. Look at them all. Did I mention it's January 19th? Yeah, middle of January, and this crazy thing is still growing and still putting off tomatoes. Wow.
What you hunting for?
What you doing, Bazoo? Hmm? Hi.
Hi. Hello, Mama.
It is about 3:15 and I am slowly losing steam on this studio day. So I think I am going to open up these molds and only open up one half and see if I can get it to release. If it does, I'm going to leave them open face and we're going to call it out here for the day. I'm probably going to go inside and work on a little bit of editing for the vision board series because I'm still editing that series. Right. So I'm not going to yank this out. My goal is just to get one side open so it can have more room to do some drying. I will have to come out here first thing tomorrow morning if I am going to leave these because I don't want it to fully shrink and dry to where I can't repair that hole. It's kind of damp today, so I should be okay till morning. If they don't lift, I don't force it. So this isn't coming apart. I'm not going to touch it. Same deal here. Looks like it will be coming back out. Oh, alrighty, so I'll check back in maybe another half an hour and see if I can remove the top. For now, I have disassembled that other box, so I'm going to go inside and see about doing a bit of editing while I wait for these to dry up. It is 4:40 and these molds are still way too wet. I do the whole pickup test and no go. So I am going to leave these overnight. Ooh, oh, got one. Woo! I'm still going to leave these overnight because they need time. Maybe. Let's see if I can do it the other way. When I touch it, it's still way too soft and it's leaving fingerprints and I don't want to risk it. I'm going to continue to edit for the rest of my evening, about another hour, then I'm going to have dinner and then head off to my fitness class, and that is going to be that. I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me today on this studio day vlog. If you'd like to see more days like this, please comment below. Please like, share, and subscribe if you have not done so already. Stick around to watch the Woodland Feast come together. See you soon.